Okay, this is
Okay.
now
Yeah.
working.
Now it's on air. Yeah. And so please.
So this is a very quick hangout on air. It's about this small merge request. So let me screen share it quickly to talk about it. I'll just screen share the whole computer. It's going to be easier than just switching between the windows. So a merge request for fixing one of many something is identified as like hardware device issues. So here's the whole delta. It's really small. We're going to redo all of this with Git so that we can have different histories. So almost same, like there are some small nitpicks like I like to apply as well. But generally, we're just going to rewrite it so that it's in the editable form. Right now, it's just like a single commit. And one of the things I raised here is I like two separate commits. One that changes the existing code to be more readable, and another one that like adds a workaround for another device. So we have like workaround for one device. We want to have workarounds for additional devices and so on and so forth. So first thing we need to do that to have git-lp. So fortunately, there's this on GitHub you can go for git-lp, and there's like a simple tutorial on how to set it up. We're just going to set it up very quickly. It's pretty easy. Just branch it. It's just one file. Just put in your path. There's one thing you have to do. It's really annoying. You have to patch a single thing in your Bazaar installation, which is annoying, but that's the way it is, and then you can just use it. So I already have it here. I already have GitHub installed here. So I also have a checkbox here. So let me just check one more thing. Git stash. So I just stashed my code changes away, so they're out of the way. They're not going to be in the way of whatever we're doing. And I'm just going to create a new branch where we're going to rework this patch. I used a command called git lp branch. It's like branching in Git, but it's really actually branching with both Git and Bazaar. It's going to start from my local copy of Bazaar's trunk of the checkbox repository. It's going to give me a Git branch to work with. So that's just it. That's really simple. The name of the branch is not rework. It's actually launchpad/rework, because later on we can just do like git lp push, and we're just going to push it up to launchpad, or we can review it, we can merge it, we can do all kinds of things to it. So with that out of the way, we can start working on the code. There's one annoying nitpick though about git lp. It's not perfect. It's a very simple script. It doesn't really handle this use case very well. So it doesn't handle a case where you have an existing Bazaar branch out there that you want to get locally within Git and do things with it. There are ways to do it. I'd actually talk about how that whole thing could be implemented pretty easily like a day or two ago with my friend, but it's not here. It doesn't work. There's no way to do it automatically, so we'll just do it manually. Since this is like a single patch we're going to split, it's not a big deal. We can just get that. So just quickly, let's go to like I create a temporary directory with that checkout. To work with initially, I could have used like a shared repository, so it would be even cheaper, but this is good enough. I just want the single file here to start working with. And then what I'm going to do is just going to copy the file, because I think all of those changes are in a single file in checkbox support, parsers, udev admin parser, I guess. So like a single file. So let's go back to checkbox. I can't type. I have lots of crap here, but other than that, all of this is just like temporary stuff from other branches that I haven't bothered to either ignore or add to those branches. But otherwise, this tree is clean. So let's just copy the single file from that Bazaar branch, and we'll work with that. Fix something, a bug number, checkbox support, checkbox under support, parsers, and udev admin parser. We'll just overwrite it here. Diff should not be actually the same thing you're seeing in the Launchpad branch behind me. So that's it, right? That's the same thing. So that's good. So the next thing, because we have Git now, we can commit it in a way we like. So there are a bunch of ways to do it. I typically use a mixture of a command line interactive edition, like if you've been using docs in the past, it's kind of like that. I have like an alias for that, so git record. It's like an alias for a couple of Git commands, but let's just use git GUI because it's a GUI. GUIs are great. So the good thing of the GUI is that you can just start with a visual, thing here, and just work with that. So we can let's try to commit. We can commit that. So it's the whole diff I have right now, and I can commit that. I can describe it. I can commit it. I can get rid of it on stage. It's like a work in progress commit. It's like you're not really committing it. You're adding it to the staging area of Git, which is like a thing you can commit. Like like a commit in progress. You can finally commit at the end. But you can really take your time. You can do all kinds of stuff between those things, and they don't just get lost. So here I had like two comments. I'd like to get rework the code to make it easier to read and add new features. So this method here is like the simplification of, I guess, this check here, right? So Ty, feel free to interrupt me at any time if I'm making stuff up or saying something that's incorrect, but that's how I see it. So this is the first thing I would just like replace this, like the code here, with your new method. Copy this description you have here right into this method and just do the exact same test. Like just do this. Like if model ID model is set to card reader, just return true or something, right? And commit that as a single commit. So I would just I can do it in a moment. I'm just talking about the concept. And then I would have like a commit that says yada yada. Just add a new method to refactor the code. I would probably name the method differently, as I said also, like we use underscore, so apply under workaround under LP something, but that's like a minor thing. We can actually commit with this method and change it later on. And then what I would do next is I would probably, so there's some new features here, and I would just add them separately. Because right now I don't really understand this code, I'm not familiar with this code that much, so I really have to spend more time thinking about what this whole thing means. When I'm reviewing patches, I like to know, like I'm splitting something. So I know what a split is. I know, like I split out some functionality into a new function so existing functionality into a function so that we can work on the function later on, right? So that's a very, like a mechanical operation. I can just look at the delta and I can know right away if there's a mistake or not, or if there's something else going on. It should be just like a code move, basically. Then I can see some extra code that says, existing function, like add this extra checks. And that's also logical, so I can follow this. While here I see like a little bit larger diff, but I don't really understand. I have to consciously think about what it actually means, and if it's correct or not, is it a typo or not. It's not like very simple. So I don't know, what do you want us to do, Ty? Do you want us to do this interactively now, or do you want just do you have any questions? Do you want us to do something else?
I think we can directly modify the code and just. I think you are going to merge the two different commits because they would like to solve the same bug. So I think just go ahead.
Okay, so I know it's late for you, so if you don't want to do it right now, we can, I don't know, do it tomorrow morning, or you can merge it as is and then apply changes later on. I know not everyone is familiar with Git in our team, and that we're not all using it. That's fine. Just gradually allow other people to pick up Git to just be able to apply things like that. So if you want, we can just, if this is important, we can just land it right now. And later on, we can just do a simple replace to get this, the method name correct, or shift around the comments so that there are doc strings and things like that. If you have the time, we can work on it interactively. It's going to take, for me, because I really don't understand it, I'm only going to make mistakes, probably 20 minutes or so to just get to a point where we're happy with what it's doing and it's actually doing the same thing now. What do you think?
I prefer to do it right now because I have time and.
All right.
All
right, let's do it then. So let's screen share the screen again and let's do it. So okay, so let's get rid of Git GUI for now, and let's look at the file. So LP something. Okay. So what was this doing before? let's do it like that so I can think about this. So this before was checking if card readers in the environment, just like that. So I don't know how to do it easily without making all kinds of silly mistakes. So stack its type. Let's just do one more thing. Split synf2 and go to the function here. And so this is the original rule, right? That we used to have here up as 8 and 9 of the delta, right?
Pardon me, which one?
Sorry?
Um,
I'm trying to figure out if the code I've highlighted here in VI, those two lines, is the actual. Oh no, actually this one, just this one, right? This is the original condition, right?
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they.
Okay, and everything else is the new feature. Okay, so let's start with that quickly. And this is all new. Like this is not like refactoring of any old code. This is all those conditions are new, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So let's start with that. So we already have that code elsewhere. I can just start with removing it, like just really removing it, and then we're gonna recover it from the other branch. Ed model environment. Where is that? Okay. So I guess that's kind of like that. It's something more like no, there's no. Whoa. Here and levels. Okay. So close. Very like that. Okay. So I don't know what I just did, so let's just get up here to help us. So let's see. This is like an unrelated change for PEP8. We're going to ignore it for a second. And this is something else. I mean, this is the new code. So let's just copy. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Let's just unstage the whole thing and go back. I want to copy this and just like restore it as it was before. Actually, it might be, no, it might not be easier because I don't have a third tree to copy this from. So where is this apply workaround code here? Fix up the way, and we'll see what we have. Hate things like that. Why doesn't it work? All right. Anyway, with like a space, that probably work. Kind of silly. It's good now. All right, it's silly me. Let's just do it, man. This video is not. I don't know VI. Let's go back to the diff and see what we did. I just clicked, like, pressed Control R. I guess there's like a description. What it does is just like refreshing the diff, wherever that is. Well, I just learned it. Control R and now. So again, the same code up here, we can actually commit that. I think it's not going to be a problem because it's just an unrelated PEP8 fix. So checkbox. So it doesn't show up in the diff anymore. And here it's more of the same. Like we copied this description here of that down here, and we got like a a bit of new code. I'm not sure we want to name the function this way. I mean the workaround, but I mean because at this point in time, this doesn't really apply the full workaround. It's just setting the stage for applying the workaround, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Let's just see if this works. Okay, just looking at it because, again, I don't want to make silly mistakes, and it looks good. Okay, let's just start doing this. And I'll already change the method name. We could change it later on, so something like more like this, so we don't have camel case. I know because it was written before and there are some interfaces, it's actually refers to, but here we don't need that much. Okay, it's still okay. When I press this, I press F7. My VI is running flake edit on this file. So, if some kind of issues are caught this way, not everything, but it's better than nothing. So okay, this looks good. So let's just say checkbox parser whatever this is. How do we call this? Split off card heuristic. Fancy, just like what it's basically doing. Oh, added anything. So let's just add this. Select and right click. I really like it this way. But there are lots of other ways to do it because I just exactly know what I'm adding. And we can double check here. And the stage changes. The thing I'm going to actually commit. That's it. So let's recover the code that we used to have here. Checkbox parsers. Do that. We can still, copy it over because that's essentially what we want, right? And down here, it's somewhere, I think. Yeah. So with the whole new code, right? And see what that gives us. So let's refresh. So instead of the old check for a card reader, now we have a bit more code that's doing all the sophisticated checks. And I mean, this looks okay, but you really have to help me on it. I don't understand, ins and outs. So what kind of commit message would you like me to write here? What do you think?
The whole block, including the previous fix. So just remove the old one and paste the new block. It's okay, I think.
Okay, right. So let's see. Workaround for. Okay.
By the way, your VI will apply automatically flake 8 checking because I saw a few messages when you save your file. So, wow, that's cool. That's really cool.
I'm doing that, so I'm just gonna steal your original message. Something, I don't know. We can work with that in a moment. The good thing about Git is that I don't have to make perfect anything until it lands. So we can make typos, we can make silly commit messages, and until we're really happy with landing this, we can rewrite and change all of them pretty quickly. So okay, let's get rid of Git GUI for a second and go back to VI. So yeah, I can tell you later on about how I got this. It's nothing really fancy. I just got like a VI plugin for Flake 8. I don't know. I remember. It's been something I've set up really years ago. So maybe auto loads. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter right now. Let's look at all long and verbose. I got like a shortcut for that. It's like get LP outgoing and get config file. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter much. LP outgoing is doing a short one-line log between Launchpad upstream, the Git branch I have here, and this branch, so I know what kind of things are new here. So we have 3 patches here, like the PEP8 fix, the splits, and the workaround. And I can just say git LP push override. I have to override because we actually pushed this earlier during this hangout, but it was different, right? Or maybe it even was empty. I don't even remember like exactly what it included. But we're just overriding. We don't care, right? We just want to push the thing we want. And let's get that. Get LP open is get LP, so it just opens a new branch window in your browser. You can just say propose for merging. I typically paste the short log, so there's like a short summary of what this is really doing. And I can probably link to your branch as well, because this is what you're. And propose it for merging, and that's just as simple as that. And we can be more elaborate later on. So let's suppose there's like a typo in a commit message somewhere to fix. What I would do is I would say git read, and this gives me like this editor that shows me all the patches that essentially the 3 patches that we've made. Technically, it's like the difference between this local branch here and the version of track it started from. So we can work with these patches. We can like swap them around or whatever, like remove some of those patches. We don't want to remove any right now. We can edit them so we can change what the patch was like. Typically, although I don't really do that, typically unless there are requirements that are like there's a conflict between 2 patches, I just make additional changes like commits, like I'm fixing something up that would show up down here, and I would just combine 2 commits together. There's like you can just squash. They're going to be combined. Love to do is reward stuff. Reward and quit this editor, and we're just going to go into a new editor that we can like write a longer commit message. Typically, when I'm working on larger pieces of codes, I don't really know everything up front, so I made some commits like a day or 2 ago, and then I've made a few more changes. Some of those commits may have changed, but some of commits I know more about exactly the purpose of what they are, how they work, and so on and so forth. So I go back, and before the branch lands, I can rewrite the commit message to be like lots of really long descriptions about what's going on. Typically, also just fixing simple typos. So I know I'm horrible with typos, so this is the way to do it. And here we haven't really changed anything, but if we did, we can just say again git LP push overrides. And that will be pushed up to Launchpad, and the discussion could be continued there. And that's all there is to it. So back to you. Any questions?
No, but I think I need more practical practicing because each time you just demo, but I didn't really play around with it. So, well, okay. Next time I will try to rework my commits and make the code history more readable, something like that. And yeah, thanks.
I mean, it takes time to get used to it. I think it took me half a year to really. I mean, it's okay when it works. When something breaks, you just don't know what to do. And in Bazaar, it's kind of easier because it doesn't break in those interesting ways. It doesn't do those interesting things, but it doesn't break those interesting ways. So feel free to ask questions, and I mean, just try it out. You don't have to use it in everything. Just use it when you're comfortable with it. Experiment. It's really fun. So one more thing. So get this link. There's a show them how to use it, how to set it up initially. And if it falls apart, I can help you. I wrote it. It's not perfect, but I'm really happy to help you out with anything.
So you wrote a whole detection algorithm of this script?
No, I wrote git LP. With Flake, I only found some interesting. You know, I know about Flake 8. Flake 8 is a combination of pip8, Flakes, and McCabe, I guess, something else. So it's like a composition of 3 tools, and I just found a VI plugin that lets you run it easily. So it's like nothing really new. It's just like a glue on top of a glue on top of a glue that makes all the interesting tools available easily. I have the same setup for Sublime Text, although I'm not really using it that much now. I'm not jumping back and forth between a couple of editors. So I have the same set of features. So if I were to open Sublime Text and open that file, it would show me the same thing. It's actually a little bit better because it shows it in real time. So you can just type, and it highlights mistakes like the ones that Flake catches in real time. Like there are nice bubbles that show like there's a typo here, there's a space error here. It's really fancy. So if you actually, there's a recording about how to set that up on my YouTube channel. So if you want to have a look, just go ahead. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay, everyone. Thanks, Zygmunt, and this is the program today. And have a good night.
Good night. See you.
Okay, see you.